Hi, fourth grade. Sorry I can't be there this morning, but I wanted to quickly show you how to do some research on a Google Doc. Then you can show the kids this. Just open up a blank Google document. There's a blank one from your drive. And then I want you to go up to your tools. Click on tools. And you can see on the second one down, it says research. Click on research. Now, over on the right-hand side, we have this whole research sidebar. This is exactly what your kids can use when they're doing the research projects, especially like with their inventions and things like that. So this right here is basically like a Google search bar. So they can search for anything that they would for, say, example in Google. So if I wanted to look up inventor, I would just type that in. And you can see I will get my web results, kind of the top things. And I can scroll up and down to get different pages. And what's nice is if I just hover over one of the blue websites, I can either preview it, or I can insert this link into my document, or I can cite it. So most of the time they're going to want to preview it because you want them to be able to evaluate different sites for different reasons. So here they can't really tell what this might be good for. This looks all like types of things for engineers. So probably not the best search for them. And for them to see that, they might want to push the preview. And you see how it pops out and it shows just a preview of what is on that web page. And hopefully they would be able to see this probably doesn't have anything to do with what they're researching. So also up here is pictures of images, and you can just hover and then it pops out. Now in the LRC, I do not let them look at images at all. It seems that every student wants to look at images and that is it. So I do not let them use it. I say information, research is information of words. Yes, pictures can help, but I really want them to be practicing reading, writing a note, reading, writing a note. Let me just tell you a couple other features of this research, and then I want to show you another cool thing in the doc. So up here by the G, there's this little arrow that says filter the results. So you could click on that and you could have everything. So that would be everything on the web that you're searching for Inventor. You could just search images, just search a scholar, quotes, dictionary, or tables. Most of the time they're going to be doing everything. Again, I would suggest not doing images. As I always say to the kids, the images is part of publishing. That is the last thing you want to add to a presentation or a final product or something that you're going to present. It does not happen in the beginning stages at all. Also, you will see, if I click that back, it closes it out. This little line here lets me filter what I'm searching for, which is very important. I'm teaching the students that, again, we cannot copy and paste, which is stealing or plagiarizing other people's words. But a lot of times they're inserting pictures or information that is not okay for educational setting, or it hasn't been approved, or it's, needs to be paid for. So right here at this arrow, we can look at not filtered by license or free to use, share, or modify even commercially. I would always, always, always use free to use, share, or modify even commercially. That is especially true of images. Too many times students will look up images and they're not either to be used at all because they're not commercially available, even educationally available because the rights of that person that has that image ownership hasn't given the rights. Or if they do, they don't properly cite the image because images do need to be cited. But I always use free to use. Now you're not going to get as many images, but these are all going to be images that are okay to use without proper citing. And then, of course, here's the citation format that they would use when they're putting their sources in their document. I leave it on MLA, that's the standard. So right now I'm just going to show you an example of how I teach them how to take notes. I'm going to go to DK Findout. It's my favorite spot right now for a lot of the kids. And I can click on the website. So I do get a whole nother tab. So when I'm in my document and I'm doing research over here, I can only preview. I cannot actually read the whole website, but they can preview websites ahead of time instead of going directly to Google and find the ones they want. So I go to DK Findout. This might be a little bit primary for some of your students, but maybe for the ELLs it's not. I'm just going to do example on dogs. I can type right here in this search box, dogs, and then I search. And you can see lots of different dogs come up. To get further in, you can click on the picture and it'll give more information. So all this is quick little facts. Right now in LRC, we've been learning just basically how to gather information. See if a site is a valid site, read through it, and take a note. Many times students, when they think of research, they immediately want to put it in a slideshow. Again, that's a presentation stage, so I try to let them know that we're just gathering information and facts before we ever put it into our own words and all of that. So how dogs communicate. I kind of keep going on and on with them. Read, type, read, type. So in my untitled document, I would have them put the title of whatever they're researching. We'll just call it dogs. I would also have them right away make a bullet list. Go back to their site. How dogs communicate. They would read this. Dogs are social in nature, behave like humans. Right away, in the first sentence, I would go back and just type in behave like humans. I do not let them write dogs behave like humans because I'm already telling them that dogs behave like humans. Dogs, do the next bullet. Dogs, next bullet. Dogs, next bullet. And I explained to them that, of course, spelling does not matter. This is basic note and fact gathering. As long as they can read it and understand it, that's all that's needed, because they would then obviously in the presentation or further along in the research process take these notes and put them into their own words for their final presentations or papers or whatever they are using the information for. But I also remind them if they put a word in their bulleted list for notes, they better know what it means. Because if they don't know what it means, then they obviously didn't read it and it's not good information because it's not helping them learn anything or use valid information for their research. So when dogs are calm, they relax their tails and ears. So when calm, relax, tail, ears. Now this is basic note-taking that you are all very familiar with, but this is honestly the method that I use in LRC. Read, take a quick note, read, take a quick note, read, take a... And a lot of times I'm telling them it's fast because we do want them to realize that they do not have to read every single word in a site or a book that they're reading to get research. Because a lot of times this middle information may not be important for what they're researching. So I tell them to read fast, write a note. Read, if there's nothing there, after a couple times of reading, a couple sentences, couple paragraphs, skimming through this, move on to another site. So you can use, I've been only using 1 or 2 sites with the kids in the LRC right now, but obviously you're going to use more. So if they are using the website over here, and I type in dogs, this would give me different sites that I can look up and see, which are valid or which is not. So the same thing would be true, obviously, for inventions or inventors or innovations or whatever the topic is that you all are studying. I'm just going to type a few other words over here in my bullet because I want to show you. I'm just typing random words, really, because I want to show you a great extension that can be used in mind maps. I love mind maps, and a lot of times when they write this list, it's easier for a lot of kids to see it in visual form. So if I went up to the top here to add-ons, I have added many add-ons to my Google Docs. I would suggest the kids doing the same, and I can teach you how to do that in another video or in person. So MindMeister is one of those that I have added on, and it basically takes any bulleted list or any text that I highlight, and I click on Insert as Mind Map. Now you can see I didn't highlight anything. So I have to highlight my whole list, go back to add-ons, go to MindMeister, Insert as Mind Map. And it puts all the words in a nice mind map. So obviously the first sentence would be the main category or topic, and then everything else would go off from that. It's just another way for them to see their research so that as they progress and they're getting to the ending stages, that they can put things into their own words, or maybe they see different connections that they didn't see before, things like that. And lastly, if I wanted to use, let's say, the dog stop, I can insert this link. You see that it inserts it right over here underneath. If I wanted to erase this picture, I'm going to insert the link, and it does right here, inserts the link. If I want to cite it, it just puts a 1, and then down at the bottom you can see it cites it automatically at the bottom of the page. So that's a quick preview. I know I talked too much. You can cut me out anytime you want, but hopefully this helps for a little bit and you guys can at least get started before I meet with you guys on Tuesday. All right, see you later. Bye.